Hey, we'll see how this is working. I'm using my phone and Facebook is telling me I can't turn it. But anyway, hey, how's it going? Who's there? Jump on and join me if you're around. And I'm going to share this really quick with my personal page. So jump on and join me. So this is a live that I'm super passionate about because it's a topic that I've been spending my life working on and wanting to share it on a bigger platform and for more people because I know the impact of this is huge. So let me see if this is working, and then I can't tell if it's recording. So if you're there, tell me if you can see me so I know if this is working or not. Okay, so no. Okay, it does look funny. I'm gonna change my phone. Apparently I can't record sideways. Okay, hi everybody. Okay, so this is about the power of you, right? So what does it take to truly be you and to really come clean with yourself about what areas in your life that may not be happening? And there's no shame in that. It's just having the awareness, because once we have the awareness, then we can make changes. And where I have seen the impact of this in my life, I'll share some stories of my own life of how this has impacted me and also other people in my life and other experiences I've had. So hang on 2 seconds. Let me share this with my personal page. Okay. I think we are almost there. And what my tagline was for this video in my announcement was, what if being truly you was the only way to success? Then would you actually allow yourself to be truly yourself? Because a lot of times we go through our life and we're actually living our life for someone else. Maybe we're in a career that is slowly sucking our soul away because we thought it was quote unquote socially acceptable, or maybe our parents really were proud of us and wanted us to do this and now we don't know how to change. Or we're in a relationship that leaves us feeling empty and not really safe or feel comfortable being ourselves. Or we're in a place in our body and our fitness where we really feel like there's this battle going on with who we know we are and how we're actually appearing to the world. And so the work here is shedding all those layers, all the shoulds, all the comparison, all the ways that you're living out of alignment with your true you to allow that true you to come through. So what it comes down to is, what are you choosing? So thinking about this, are you choosing to stay in a job that doesn't light you up, stay in a relationship that doesn't light you up, be in a place with your physical fitness and health that feels awful and is maybe actually going to shorten your life? And if you really think about the impact of some of our choices that we make when it comes to the foods that we put into our body, or the way we decide to maybe not take ownership of our health, and to think about what is the legacy that you want to create. And so when you think about how everything is our choice, it becomes kind of in your face when you think about, okay, so I'm going to leave a legacy of struggle, of suffering, of not doing work I truly care about or that truly lights me up, of settling in a relationship I don't really feel is the right relationship for me, and not having the energy and the vitality that I truly crave. And that's the legacy that I'm going to leave for my community, for my family, for my children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews, because I'm totally scared to be myself and I'm afraid of what it will take and how hard it will be and how long it will take. And so we continue, when we do this, we continue to operate out of a place of often depression, self-loathing, of frustration, of anxiety, of overwhelm, of indecision, of not really knowing what we want and how to get it. And when we're in that place, think about the cost of that, of all the behaviors that we engage in that are so-called coping mechanisms. So over drinking or overeating, binging on too much TV or social media, or gambling or over shopping, whatever it is, it's all of those things are just merely symptoms of you not being totally connected to you and who you are meant to be, and the work you're here to do, and the truth that you're here to share. And that is, to me, the root of all addiction is our fear of being ourselves, of feeling it's not safe to be ourselves, feeling we'll be judged, feeling people will think we're foolish or ridiculous or irresponsible, whatever it is, that we'll be judged, rejected, kicked out of the tribe, made fun of, humiliated, and ashamed. So it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of heaviness. And then when you think about the other option of, if you're choosing, my phone is being funny, sorry about that. If you're choosing instead to live a legacy that demonstrates you rose up and chose work that really lights you up and is having an impact and is making changes not only in your life, but in everyone you come into contact with. You're choosing relationships that are equal to you and that you both evolve and grow and become better people because of that relationship. And think about the impact of just that relationship if you have kids or nieces and nephews or friends, for them to see an example of a healthy, supportive, thriving relationship. And also with your body and health, for you to leave a legacy of the importance of taking care of your body and your health and your fitness and having the energy to engage in activities that you love and enjoy and doing those with people that you love. And knowing all of that required tremendous risk of making people upset or being unpopular or going against the grain or disappointing, quote unquote, your family because you didn't do what they wanted you to do. But here's the kicker. To differentiate between these two options, right? Because they're both an option. We can choose to stay in a story of struggle, or we can choose to take a risk and be our true selves. The cost really is, when we think about, oh, it's too hard to change and I don't know if I can do it. Think about how hard it is to live out of alignment with yourself. Think about how hard it is to stay in a job that you almost, if you get honest with yourself, you hate it. Or stay in a relationship that makes you feel like you're not worthy or it's not okay to be yourself and you kind of just suppress your desires and your truth. Or to stay in a place of fitness and health that really is not who you want to be, that you truly desire to be in a place where you have vitality and energy and that you can walk around and run around and not worry about getting hurt because you maybe have too much weight or don't have enough fitness level to do the activities that you desire. So think about how hard that is, how hard it is to not be you compared to the change that might be required for you to make to be you. So I mentioned when you're not totally you, you're totally disconnected, often that results in engaging in behaviors that make you feel even worse. So overeating, over drinking, any form of addiction. I used to go to Codependency Anonymous, which really the root of all of this is codependency. When we're afraid to be ourselves, it's because we are looking for outside validation. We're looking for our family, our friends, our partners, our work, our money. We're looking for something outside of us to tell us it's okay to be ourselves. And the root of all addiction in any form, in every form, is codependency. It's not safe to be me, so I'm going to drink myself into a stupor, and then I'll feel like I can actually be me, or I'll get high, and then I'll feel like I can be me. But really, if you are completely honest with yourself, you can be you without all of that, but that takes great risk. But it's a great reward. So it's actually harder to stay stuck than it is to make the change. And of course, change is scary. Like I mentioned, we fear losing maybe our community or being unpopular or being rejected or being criticized, being told we're foolish. But the benefit, so now we're talking about the benefit of being truly you can't put a price on it. I mean, to think about if you could be you everywhere with everyone all the time, how much energy you would have to create something completely new in your life instead of all the energy you're taking up to suppress your desires and to be someone for this person and be someone else for this person and to have to say a certain thing in this group and not say that in this group. think of all the energy caught up in not being you. And if you released all of that and had all that energy to access, I mean, you could create anything. It would be phenomenal how much more possibility would show up for you because you had all this extra energy that you were using to suppress who you truly are. Hi, I'm trying to see, I can't see who it is. Thank you for joining me. So I have some questions for you, and I'll share some stories about how you can start to really come clean with yourself and own who you truly are and come out as who you truly are. So the first question is to think about, who are you with different people in your life? So think about when you go home, if you go home for the holidays or you spend time with family for the holidays, who do you become when you're around your family? And often you notice you become someone different. You often convert, we all often convert to being a version of ourselves that we were when we were younger, or having to follow certain rules that we thought we had to follow when we were children. Think about who you are with different groups of friends you might have. So if you have different activities that you're involved in, who are you with your different activity buddies? And then think about if you have kids, who are you with your kids' friends? Who are you with coworkers and colleagues? Who are you with people maybe that have, a different status than you? Maybe it's a boss or someone in your life that you put at a different level. And how do you show up with all of those people? And think about how many different personalities you have if you are showing up differently for all those people. And what would be possible if you could show up as the same person for everyone, everywhere? And for me, I show up online the same as I show up offline. If you meet me in the street, I'm the same person. And the power of that is that you get to be real, you get to be authentic, you get to be vulnerable, that you're not putting on this front or this facade or this perception. You're actually being honest with who you are with everyone. And so think about that. This is the second part. In every interaction you have throughout the day, pause before you engage. So when we engage automatically, we're often disconnected from ourselves. So we do the I'm fine, how are you? There's no emotion, there's no connection to your core, to who you are. You're just going through the motions of hey, how's it going? And you're not actually letting that person that you're interacting with see the true you and see what's going on in your life. And so before you interact with anyone throughout the day, just take a moment to pause and think about what's true for you in that moment and allow them the gift and the opportunity to see the true you and for you to risk being vulnerable and authentic, and think about the impact on that one interaction and the difference of that versus your automatic response. So thinking about authentically relating versus automatically operating. And so a story for you all from my life is 2 instances actually where I was dating 2 different men. And one guy, when I was in college, was probably I would say my first love. And I was discussing making a huge change in my life. It was, again, talking about changes. It was scary, and it was wrapped up in identity and who I was going to be if I made this change, and who was going to disappoint, and what my family would think of me, what my friends would think of me. And so we were discussing, at the time, I was a cadet at the United States Coast Guard, and I was contemplating seriously resigning and beginning my undergraduate degree in adventure recreation and in psychology. And this boyfriend told me, he came from, upper class and grew up on the East Coast and had a very different lifestyle than me. And he said, I can't imagine introducing my friends to my wife if we were to get married and saying that she was an adventure traveler. I was like, oh, okay, so you care more what your friends think than that your future wife is doing something that she's passionate about and that she cares about, and that might have an impact on more people. So of course I broke up with him, but it's still that because I knew I can't be me with him, and I don't want to be with someone that I can't be myself with. And the fact that he cares more about what people think than about our relationship, it's not the right fit. So that's one example of not feeling like it was okay to be me. And luckily at the time, I was strong enough to know I'm not going to be in a relationship where I can't be me. So think about that for your life. Is there something in your life, in one of your relationships, where you feel like you can't be you. You can't show up as you want to show up, and wear what you want to wear, and say what you want to say, and be okay having a different opinion from the people that you're interacting with. Got it? Okay, third step is to honor all the instances of truth throughout your day and cleaning up when you need to. So, for example, if you send a text to someone or leave a message for someone or reach out to someone and you notice that wasn't totally true, reach back out to them and clean up the truth. So this happened to me recently. I sent a text to a friend and said, I had to leave early because I had to go to a graduation. And I got in the car and I was like, that's not true. I'm not going to a graduation. I'm going to a birthday party. Why did I say graduation? Like, it made it feel like it was okay for me to leave if it was a graduation. So I texted right away before I even drove away and said, it's not a graduation, it's a birthday party. Because I want to be 100% truthful in every encounter, no matter what, and no matter with who I'm interacting with. And so that's the same with this automatically operating, is don't say you're fine if you're not fine. Be open to speaking the truth with everyone, everywhere, all the time. And the power of that, again, is you have this tremendous energy to create something completely new, and you get to be you. And that is the best gift there is. And really, that is what we are all here for, is for people to experience us in our messiness and our vulnerability, in the goods and in the bads, and not just to see some cookie cutter form of us that we created that we think they want to see, because then they don't actually get to know us, and we don't actually let them get to be themselves, because if they always think we're being someone different, then what does that say that they might have to be? Are there any questions? Okay. Oh, thanks, Karen. I couldn't read on my phone. So this is the most important work you do. This is the work I began so long ago and was the work I was doing before I got into coaching. And again, this isn't easy. This is some of the scariest work you'll ever do, because you're going to face the demons of change, which tell you it's safer to stay where you are, sit down, shut up, be quiet, follow the rules, conform, and make everyone feel okay. And that's not what you're here for. You're not here to make everyone feel okay. You're here to make a change, and that starts with you having the courage to be yourself in every situation, everywhere, all the time. So if you have any questions, let me know. And if you are in a place where you are really wrestling with wanting to make a change and it feels scary and overwhelming and you're not really sure what the next step is and what it really looks like, reach out to me, because honestly, living in a place of survival, I've been there. You're not meant to operate out of survival for brief periods of time, but not for years. And I have worked with many people who have been in survival mode for years, because your true nature is thriving. And really, honestly, the best way for you to thrive is to be 100% authentically, vulnerably, unapologetically you in every area of your life, with everyone, everywhere, all the time. So give me a shout if you're interested in learning more about working with me. And I do have a copy of my new guide to help you start to clean up and release all the anxiety and really connect with what it is that you're here to do, and unleash that brilliance to the world in a bigger way. So you can grab a copy of that as well. All right. Awesome. Thank you all for being here. See you all soon.